Alright, so we have the word problem. Two truckers leave from the same point driving in opposite directions. The first trucker driving at 64 miles per hour and the second at 63 miles per hour. The first trucker has a 1 hour head start. How long will they be able to talk on their car phones if the phones have a 280-mile range? So this is a little complicated. So first we have to parse out what we've been given. We know that there are two truckers, so we'll call them, we'll call one T1 for trucker 1, T sub 1, and the other one T2 for trucker 2, and let's just see what we know about them. This problem is dealing with the formula distance equals rate times time, so we'll see what we know in terms of distance, rate, and time for these two truckers. So I'll make a little table. Alright, so the first category, distance, we don't know anything in particular, like specific about distance, other than this 280-mile range, so we'll get to that in a second. So for distance, I will say that we have trucker 1 drives distance 1, and trucker 2 drives distance 2. So now we get to the rate. They have the first trucker is driving at 64 miles per hour, so the first one has a rate of 64. The second one is driving at 63 miles per hour. Alright, now we have time. The little thing about time says is that the first trucker has a 1 hour head start. So what this means is if the second trucker takes T hours to get to this 280-mile distance, the first trucker will take T plus 1. So for example, if trucker 2 took 2 hours to get to this 280 miles, trucker 2 would have taken 3 hours because it had a 1 hour head start. So trucker 1 is T plus 1, signifying the extra hour that they have as a head start. So now we get into this 280-mile range. If these two truckers are starting at this similar point, with trucker 2 heading in this direction at 63 miles per hour, and trucker 1 heading in this direction at 64 miles per hour, this is telling me that this whole distance should add up to be 280 miles. So this tells me that I'm dealing with D1 plus D2, or the two distances the truckers drive, as being equal to 280. So whatever distance trucker 1 drives, whatever distance trucker 2 drives, both of them together have to equal this 280, so I can find out how long they take to get there. So according to this D equaling RT, my D1 is equal to 64 times T plus 1, and D2 is equal to 63T. So I'm going to substitute that into this formula. So D1 is 64 times T plus 1, and D2 is 63T, equaling to 80. So I'm kind of squished in here, so I'm going to get a different sheet just to do that again. So reiterating, I had the 64 T plus 1 is equal to plus 63T is equal to 280. And again, this was my D1 plus D2 is equaling 280. So I'm going to distribute the 64 through. So I have 64T plus 64 plus 63T is equal to 280. Alright, so combine like terms, 64 plus 63 gives me 127T. Plus 64 is equal to 280. When I subtract 64 from both sides, I get 127T is equal to 216. Divide both sides by 127. I get my T is equal to 1.701 if I round to the third decimal place. Now this isn't exactly what I'm looking for, because it says how long will they be able to talk on their car phones. And if you remember, trucker 1 had that 1 hour head start, so they're still able to talk to each other during that 1 hour head start. So the number I'm really looking for is T plus 1, which will be 2.701. So they'll be able to talk for 2.701 hours.